everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
So I'm watching the Gilded Age, Season 3, Episode 5.
A Different World.
I actually kind of zoned out through a lot of this episode.
Okay.
There was a lot of like business talk, and they're going to Arizona, and Club is gone, but like...
Clay.
Sure. He's been around for like a minute.
The whole time.
Yeah. Okay.
He's like George's gentleman.
I usually do well with like George's business stuff, but for some reason in this episode it just...
Well, there was it is right now it is kind of like business box stepping, because it's like he needs the mines, but the mines are worthless. But
they
like,
keep saying that, so now I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah. So like he needs the mines, but the mines are worthless. But the people that own the mines won't sell the mines, but the mines are worthless, but they're all they have.
But he needs the land to get the train. But he also needs Chicago.
Well, that's going to be the hub. You're going to go from New York to Chicago and then across.
But they don't want that?
Well, the Chicago people want to own that house.
Okay.
So it's like you have to, it's a lot of moving parts. And then also, so Clay can't get it done. So he's fired, which is crazy. And he's fired for basically being like, bro, you don't have enough money for this. And Mr. Russell is like, well, if you're not going to give me solutions. And he's like, just ease up is his
because we still think the show has not brought it back up, but we still think money's double dipped somewhere.
Yeah. Although the fact that they haven't brought it up again makes me think maybe not, but I'm not sure. So we'll see. But he is like, because of the runs on the banks and the like recession, which he actually said in this episode, it's like nobody wants to like keep investing their money like outward because they're worried about like what they're gonna have. And then also and he can't foot the bill entirely by himself, so like he is trying to get the Mr. Merrick guy that he invited to dinner, I think is like involved in the Chicago railroad part, and he was trying to get him to come in.
And so that's when he basically was like, Bertha, charm him.
Bertha, indecent proposal him. And then
Bertha started and he was like, that.
Not like that.
That's too much.
Yeah. She was like, she may as well have whipped her tit out. Like, she was really going.
Anything you like what you see.
She was really getting after it with Mr. Merrick.
She had like 4 really good dresses in this.
She really
episode.
did. That one
only
was 3
of which were black and white. Oh. That one was kind of pewtery and like folded. It was almost
also
origami.
Was like sheer beaded on the side, and then there was like an overlay on the bottom of the skirt. Beautiful.
She really, And that guy Merrick or whatever was like putting it on real thick too. I was.
There's no one like your wife.
I was like, is this like a key party or like where are we going with this?
Everybody put your diamonds in the hat. So that didn't go to plan, really. And so what's happening is George is sending Larry to Arizona to close the deal that Clay couldn't close. And Larry wants the metallurgy report about the mines, even though George says no less than 4 times in this episode that the mines are worthless. And it's apparently a very thin report. And I'm like, he's going to get there and find like gold or something. Because they're copper mines, but I feel like they're going to find something else. So that's what's happening there. Also, Larry doesn't want to go because he's planning to propose to Marion, and he tells George, and George is like very thrilled for him. So Larry goes ahead and does it. And essentially what happens is later in the afternoon, I guess when they're having Mr. Merrick over for dinner, I guess Bertha went out to one charity meeting and came back, and Larry was engaged, and he's going to Arizona, and and it was so funny.
It seemed kind of like George is a little bit getting revenge on Gladys because he was like making sure that it all was settled and like
before she got home.
Yeah, ready.
Well, the other part of it too is that like they haven't heard from Gladys, and Bertha just keeps going, she's fine. I'm sure she's fine. To the point that in public, in front of other people, George was like, we have no idea if she's fine. We haven't heard from her. So good. I love it.
Are we going to Gladys?
Not quite yet. Let's finish with Larry, because he can't spend the evening with Marion because his Harvard roommate is having like a bachelor party at Delmonico's.
Isn't that one of the Cecily Strong skits?
No.
There's Terrazanos. But I think one of them's Delmonico.
Okay, I know why you're all doing this. this. You're jealous of me. You've been jealous of me since the second I walked into this Domenico's because you could never get a man like this. I can't go through this again, not at a Domenico's.
So yeah, he's there and he brings Jack, which I thought was very cute. Okay, we were worried that he was going to start like gambling and carousing and like being generally terrible, but he is very overwhelmed by everything. He turns down a prostitute, which I enjoyed as well. He was like, "No, sorry, thank you." And she did look pretty put out, and she was like, "Oh." But then while they're at the Haymarket, I don't know if that was a second location, like if Delmonico's was dinner and this is the second location, or if the Haymarket is like part of Delmonico's.
I don't know how important it is, but Larry in particular seemed to be very relaxed and devil may care about the notion that some men might be there seeking the company of other men.
Yeah, nobody else seemed bothered by it.
I was
not even
curious.
His Harvard friends were bothered by that. But also okay.
I mean, we love to see it, but I just was, and also I knew, because I just assumed when we saw the scenes of the club, I just assumed we were going to be there with Oscar. Like, I was thinking it was going to be a gay night. Like,
sure.
I guess because I talked about Zach. I talked about this with Zach. Where it's like, I guess because the Alienist did such a number on me.
The boy whores.
But also, wasn't it? Was it the Alienist or was it Black Sails, where they like go to a club and it was like a drag club? It was like maybe it was Penny Dreadful. Maybe that was when Dorian Gray met what's her face. I don't remember.
Could have been any and all of those TV shows that we watched at the same time.
At some point, I saw a man in a dress. I don't know when it happened.
Literally every Friday night on Drag Race for the last 8 years.
We watched Alyssa Edwards and Monet 2 hours ago.
I would also like to say that, like, what's coming up seems like Marion is going to be very put out that Larry was at this brothel, I guess. But he also was very like, "No, thank you, prostitute. Move along." And so I feel like she's going to be upset for no reason.
No, thank you, Judy Jetson Hooker.
Yeah. So Larry sees Maude Beaton and he goes up to her and is like, "Hey, you're Maude Beaton." And she's like, "No, I'm not."
It was like Dolly Travers
something
or something
like that.
Yeah.
And so anyway, after he's saying goodbye to Marion the next day before he goes to Arizona, he like follows behind Oscar for a second and is like, "Hey, I saw him on Beaton at the Haymarket. I just thought you should know after everything that happened." And so then
the whole time they've been acting like she was the kingpin, which I mean, I didn't even really think that was happening, but now I guess are we thinking that she has like a pimp or like a conspirator that like makes her?
I'm of two minds about it. Either she was also like suckered out of that money that she got from Oscar, or she just likes to do this.
Well, no, I was going to say she like was knowingly, because that wasn't even her house.
No,
remember she would like sit on the
prostituting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. You did make a joke about that. Where you're like, maybe this is just like a hobby for her.
She just likes it. No, you're right. It definitely wasn't her house. So that's the thing is like, is she living in this brothel and like she got suckered out of the money also, or is something else happening? So I'm curious. But Marion does seem like she's gonna ask Oscar, where was he when he saw Maude Beaton? And I'm just like, I know it's like whatever, but you're not married yet. And also it's like a bachelor party. I mean, I don't, come on.
I mean, you said it's like what is it, like the 7th episode of every season, Marion has this like, "I don't know this man the way I thought I did."
Yeah. Oh, I'm not excited about that. Well, I guess let's do Peggy.
Well, I was gonna say we mentioned that they were getting engaged, but we didn't really.
They did get engaged under a willow tree. It was beautiful.
It actually really was, although they didn't really show us the ring. But
it looks like I don't think it would be, but it looked kind of like a 3-stone situation. Like it looked big and shiny. So
Ada and George are thrilled. Agnes and Bertha seemingly less so.
Well, Agnes, I think, is just like, okay, fine.
What is Agnes? It's just because she still just doesn't really like the Russells?
Yeah, she said she had the one line specifically where she was like, that woman is going to claim kinship. And it's Bertha is going to like use the old name. Obviously. But
that's why this works. Exactly. And then Marion with her no money will have.
Exactly.
Because that's why I was sort of bristling at the notion that Bertha would be so against this, because I was like, I feel like Bertha would be thrilled to have that connection with them. And also, I mean, it is completely believable, especially given Bertha's behavior with Gladys. It is completely plausible that she would also have high expectations of Larry. But also, what's that joke? Where it's like, I think it's Will and Grace, where he's like, "Oh, they don't really marry what the girls. They don't really care who the girls marry." Like, isn't it like
it's swapped? They don't really care. They don't really care who the boys marry. But that's the other thing. She's like, Miss Brooke is not at all who I imagined for Larry, and I'm like, who the fuck cares at this point? You already sold your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares? But I still love Bertha 100%. And I don't want to hear about it.
I will go down with this ship.
No, I mean, she's very...
she's got it coming. Like, it's coming for her.
Oh, yeah.
This season.
Yeah, for sure.
There will be consequences to my actions.
Yeah. So, yeah, she's just put out because Marion doesn't have, like, money or a name or whatever.
I have, like, more Bertha stuff, but I want to say, should we do that now?
Sure.
In Newport.
Okay. The Newport stuff. So we got Aurora back. Marion went to Newport to tell her that she got engaged, and then they were also both invited to a party at Mamie Fish's house, so they were going to go there together after. I guess the divorce is proceeding.
Mm-hmm.
However, Aurora gets all the property because she's the wronged party. So the law is being good to Aurora, even if society is not. Like, I think she gets the house in New York as well. So the house there and the house in Newport.
Because she said the people in Newport were nicer.
Yeah. Like the locals, the people that live there year round. But
New York society still comes and goes.
Yeah. They end up at the party at Mamie Fish's house, but Mrs. Astor is there, and they weren't sure if she was going to come because there's still all this drama with her daughter
Charlotte.
And her husband and her lover.
Mm-hmm.
There's also still more newspaper stuff. There's still a leak in the Russell house.
They're laying it on so thick that it's Andre, that it's the maid, and I just don't buy that.
Then I have no idea. Because Bertha, okay, there were theories that it was Bertha, but she seems too actually put out to be like scheming this way.
Last week we assumed it was Gladys trying to ruin her own wedding. Then I thought, well, then maybe Bertha was doing it just to drum up. But it's like, I don't understand.
Yeah, but even no matter how, it's
like we're seeing her alone in a room responding to this.
Right. And no matter how ruthless Bertha is, I don't think that she would release pictures of Gladys's wedding underwear to the press. Like, she is ruthless, but I
think they were just discussing it. But
whatever. Like, details about her wedding underwear. I don't think she'd do that because it's like, it's unseemly.
Because they literally were like, who could it be? It's usually whoever the newest person is. And then they smash cut to Andre, like, doing her, makeup, hair, clothes stuff. And so I'm like, if that is the culmination of this plot, I guess I hope there's another element to it that we don't know yet.
Because Church was talking to Bannister and he was like, well, that's going to be tough. We hired like 30 footmen for the Duke and all of the wedding stuff. So like there's tons of new people running around.
It's just strange to me. So if that is the case, I hope there's another element to it.
Yeah. So anyway, back to Newport. When Aurora and Marion get there, Mamie Fish is like, oh, God.
She's like, hey, I'm so happy you can make it. You gotta go.
You should probably leave.
You gotta go right now.
And so it basically is just like this really awkward situation. And Aurora's like, I'll leave. And Bertha's like, well, then I'll go too.
Well, no, because
they had that lovely scene together.
Yeah, because Aurora goes and sits down and then like the three women get up and walk away. And then Bertha in like probably the best dress.
Just black and white.
Was that her best? Because there was another black and white one that was really good too. But I think that this like Swan Lakey one was and really she just went in and sat down with Aurora.
Well, she just stood. She did not sit down. She stood and they had a conversation. But she was really nice about it. She was like, don't,
I love it. I love that.
It was very don't let the bastards get you down.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised though because I knew that she had that history with Aurora and Lena Astor and some of them, and I don't know. She Bertha was going out of her way. It seemed to,
and she was.
Is it just to stick it to Lena Astor?
I think a little. Okay. They're frenemies. Like they are, like hanging out together. But it's like I think Bertha is still a little pissed.
Something about her conversation with Aurora felt genuine to me.
Oh yeah, for sure. And so basically when Mamie was like, I think you have to go because like, oh, Lena Astor's right there. That's when Bertha was like, well, then I'll go too. And Mamie was like, you can't go. You're the largest donor. And so Marion basically was like, I'll go with Aurora. Like, no, let's not be crazy about it.
And then Bertha calls out Lena Astor where she's like, so you're just trying to distract from your daughter's upcoming divorce by setting a precedent you don't plan on following through?
That was Mamie.
That was Mamie. Yeah.
After, who also was in a really great dress. It was like, that was like probably my favorite Mamie Fish dress so far.
Miss Fish it's all been peripheral, but she's had a lot of really good material this season.
This season for sure. So anyway, because I think she is Lena Astor's like best friend, besides Ward McAllister. But it's like the two of them are the closest. And she's like, unless you're willing to, because Mrs. Astor is like, Charlotte will not be getting a divorce. And I'm like, you sure about that? I don't think so. And so, so Mamie is like, you can only snub Aurora if you're also planning to exile your own daughter from society, because you can't have it both ways. You can't exile Aurora and then keep your daughter in for the exact same thing happening. And it's like, no matter what else is in the newspapers, everybody knows that her husband challenged her lover to a duel. We are all aware of that. And so she was like, you're basically digging your own grave, which I loved. It's really good. Peggy, Dr. Kirkland takes her to a baseball game. It's very cute. She's enjoying it. It's sort of like when the Duke takes Daphne to the boxing match. Yeah. She's like, I had no idea it could be so exciting. And apparently her dad's been sponsoring this team forever, but she wasn't a boy, so he never took her to the games. But she likes it. And then they very unfortunately run into Mr. Unfortunately.
Which is, I've done a full 180. I was so on his side last season. And then this time I was like, you, sir, have no dignity.
She's getting a doctor. And so
and they even trotted out his daughter.
Okay, unless his wife is dead. But even if his wife is dead, I don't want to take on your widowhood. You know? Like, no. So it's kind of awkward, but he basically sets up this invitation to an interview for her with this woman who's really big in the suffrage movement in Philadelphia. For the newspaper. So even though she's still working on her novel, she's like, that would be fantastic. I'll definitely do it. And he was like, okay, well, you'll get I'll send you the details to 61st Street. And to which Marion, who picks up the mail, gives it to her. And they have this entire eye conversation right in front of Agnes, to the point where Marion is like, well, shouldn't Dr. Kirkland accompany you? And I was like, well, that's inappropriate in the first place. But also then Agnes is like, she's fully recovered. Why would she need a doctor? And I'm like, oh, Agnes does not know that she's courting this man. It was super funny. Super, super funny. Very between the lines kind of stuff. And Agnes was just like, what the fuck? What's going on? And so then later when Dr. Kirkland is dropping her off at the train station, Mr. Fortune is there.
He shows up like he's going with her.
And he didn't tell her he was going with her. He didn't tell her any of this. He just shows up like they're going together.
Just full side piece.
And she's like, I will go alone or I will not go at all. And he does relent, not before they start into fisticuffs in the middle of the train station, to which she's like, absolutely not. No, thank you.
She's like, fellas, stop rehearsing for your play. She was really, there's nothing to see here.
And so Mr. Fortune is like, okay, well, have a nice trip. So he does eventually relent or whatever. But boy, howdy, what a weird,
very
weird thing.
Entitled.
Also, Dr. Kirkland did not seem put off because she was like, I have things to tell you. And he was like, well, I'll be here waiting when you get back. So he seemed mostly fine with it. The whole Van Ryn house now knows how much money Jack has. I guess except for Agnes and Ada don't know, but the whole downstairs knows that he has $300,000. But also, I don't think he knows they know.
No.
Yeah.
Well, Agnes seems entitled to that information. I don't know how I feel about that.
I get why she feels entitled. I think she is just mostly curious. I don't think she's gonna do anything about it, but it is sort of like,
I mean, I guess it just does change things.
It does, yeah.
So
you can't have $22 million and be working as a servant.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you can, but that's insane. So, there was also a conversation with John Adams and Oscar where he was like, we found Maud Beaton, and John Adams is very, well, she got hers.
Yeah.
And also you were lying to her too. So like, let's just let it lie. And I don't think Oscar's going to. I think
telling you, we're gonna lose one of them.
Oh God.
We're getting a duel this season. I don't know how better to.
You think?
Yes.
What would they duel? What would Oscar's gonna duel?
I don't know who I think, but we commented and then they've brought it up twice. So Chekhov's gun.
I think the only other kind of small thing before we get to Gladys is Borden and Mrs. Bruce had such a cute
love for the ages.
I am really into it. I'm really into it. He was asking questions about her husband, and it was just like a really thoughtful, well done conversation. I just really liked it. He was like, do you still love him? And she was like, that's a hard question. And he goes, I withdraw it. And it was like just so cute. And then he told her he loved her. And she said, I'm very grateful.
I love spending time with you.
Spending time with you. I thought it was cute. I think she's giving him as much as she's able. And I like it. Yeah, I think their relationship is really cute. Which brings us to Gladys. No one told her anything.
That part actually feels very true.
Well,
that feels very authentic. That a bunch of stuffy British royals would be like, did you not just wake up with the knowledge?
Yeah, I don't. Hector. I
still like Hector.
No, he's fine. Hector's mostly fine.
So it's like, okay. I've been kind of, I don't know how I would characterize it, but I've been sort of like, what's there to see? Like, they made a second Spider-Man. Like, there's been such a to-do being made over this plot with Gladys. And I guess I wasn't seeing where the show was going to go. So once we saw that preview that we were going to follow her to England, which I kind of enjoy. Yeah. I think it's kind of fun. I mean, I don't really know because I haven't watched Downton Abbey. So I don't know how that works and how this works in comparison to that. But having seen some of it now, I'm starting to understand. Like, I'm starting like, okay, she feels alone. She doesn't understand. They are not famously
welcoming,
renowned for their hospitality and their grace period of adjustment. I thought her diamond combs were darling. I don't know why she needed a chunky tiara for.
I don't like Lady Sarah. I presume that's the point. Okay, so Bertha wouldn't know about how to operate in English society, but she did tell her how to have sex. So she told her some stuff, but at no point and this goes to the root of my problem with the like, she's gonna influence global fashion and politics, and I'm like, Gladys doesn't know what she's doing. That's a major problem. She can only do that if she knows what she's doing. You didn't let her come out on time. You didn't let her have any love affairs. Like, you didn't not to get ruined or anything, but like, you didn't let her have any love affairs. So she had to keep the one hidden.
But it's like she doesn't seem particularly knowledgeable on fashion or fashion trends or like.
And she doesn't seem to really care. And she doesn't seem like she wants to be an influence in those things. And so it's very like, you think she can be these things, but you have done zero things to set her up to actually carry them out. And that's
and then you sent her with Adelheid. Look, I love that she has a friend. Adelheide's doing her best. I mean, she's pulling through as much as she's able to, but it's not your A student.
Also, I can't wait for Adelheide's snooty ass to get back to New York and Jack has $22 million.
I'm just saying, I'm starting to see some of the conflict. I'm starting to see some of this. I haven't learned the name of the castle. Sidmouth. It does seem kind of dark and damp, maybe dusty.
There are mice.
Little bit dull. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm starting to.
Well, I loved Gladys being because that's like a legitimate. She's like, you have mice, and Lady Sarah is like, or I think it actually was Hector was like, everyone has mice. Luckily, we also have a cat. It's just like
it's like cockroaches down here in Florida.
Yeah,
where it's like all of our friends from the north are like, oh, up north that
means you're dirty.
That means something is wrong, and it's like, oh no, it means that it's 90 degrees here.
It's just. We do get pest control in this house, so we have only had like 4 or 5 roaches in the house. But
my point wasn't calling you and me dirty. My point was saying that it's common. It's culturally, it's a different.
But also, at least it was mice, like little English field mice. I'm fine. Like it's the rats that give me a problem. So anyway, it's like, but then Lady Sarah's such a bitch, and she's like, you all like everything so new, and we like to stay in one place. And I was like, the Russells are going to live in that house on 5th Avenue forever.
Well, she's overbearing. She's acting like she's the lady of the house. And
she has been. It is Crimson Peak, just not scary. It's like not existentially scary. Yeah. And so she has been the lady of the house, presumably since their parents died. And, and the comment she made about the portrait where she was looking at the portrait of their mother and Gladys was like, my mother had a portrait made of me by Mr. Sargent. It's in New York and it's best to stay there. Fuck you, lady. Unbelievable. So so she gets to dinner. She's got these beautiful diamond star combs in her hair. And Lady Sarah is like, what are you wearing? If I can wear a tiara, so can you. And then they make this absolutely hideously stupid joke at dinner. And to which Hector explains it to her. Everybody is, and Hector's like, it's because you see, he thought he was talking to the valet, but it was the rector. It's unbelievable.
I suppose you don't just wake up with a British sense of humor. No, you don't.
No, you really don't. It just was, and then it's just like slop for the first course. And
there was a piece of wood in that bowl.
Was obviously stew, but Gladys was like, "I've been eating French cuisine." I mean,
I'm starting to see. The error of my ways.
Yeah. So Lady Sarah also dismisses Adelheid, and so Gladys is like, I'm going to write a strongly worded message to my manager. So she writes.
I don't think my father.
The inventor of the train across the country. So she sends a letter home about how basically miserable she is and everything. And George is furious with Bertha. And Bertha's like, I can fix it. I'll do it. I'll fix it. And he's like, I don't really care what you do. And I might not be here when you get back. So it does look like Bertha is going to be in England in the next episode. Which
can't wait for that.
No, hard same. But then I'm so frustrated because her and Gladys, that was horrible. Her and Gladys are making eyes at each other like across the table, like they're doing something. And I'm like, you should have been doing this before.
We'll get there.
But that's my main problem with Bertha as a whole is that she kept Gladys too sheltered for too long and then expected her to just be able to do this stuff as opposed to taking her under her wing and actually teaching her. Well,
and that is one of the things that even I was being critical about, where I'm like, Bertha is treating Gladys like Gladys is Bertha.
Right.
Where it's like, just do what I would do in this situation.
But it's like Gladys has no killer instinct. No. Like zero killer instinct. So it's not going to go. I mean, if Bertha's there, we'll see. But it's like, otherwise, it's like not going to go great. I do appreciate that Hector does seem to be fond of Gladys.
I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure I'll rue the day that I stood up for him. But as of now, I still kind of like him.
Everything they're laying out is that Lady Sarah is the villain of this piece and that he is almost just as browbeaten. But then that's the other thing where it's like,
so I kind of feel like he's either going to
sexing your husband and get him under your thrall so you can oust Lady Sarah.
I'm like, he's either going to nut up and overthrow his sister, or he's going to fall in step, fall in line, and
we'll see.
So, you did mention that George and Bertha are
they're fighting,
strained.
Yeah.
ATM.
Yeah. Also, there was the other thing with Lady Sarah where she starts talking about redoing the morning room, and Gladys like starts to say something and Sarah talks over her. And if it were me, I would be like, bitch, this is my money that's updating your fucking house.
And while we're at it, open that goddamn curtain.
Yeah. Let's let some sunlight in here. How about that? But yeah, pretty good episode though.
Mm-hmm.
I
very
enjoyed
moving the plot forward.
Yeah. So we got 3 left. Yeah, 6, 7, 8. And we'll be back next week. Bye.